And how's it going, guys and girls? Me, it's Uncle and welcome to my channel, and yet again we are here to play DDLC Blue Skies. As you know, we are doing Erie's Road. I have the feeling that we are almost ending Erie's Road, and I don't know, because there will be a death of life choice, you know, like what happened with Natsuki. So, either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and welp, let's go. So, compared to how last January started, it's definitely a lot different. Okay. For once, I actually have a girlfriend now. Oh yeah, that. With the fireworks and all. Yeah. Who would think about that? We kissed, and it's a given that we like each other. So why do I feel a little uneasy? Is it because I still find it hard to believe Yuri likes a guy like me? A clever, gorgeous, sophisticated girl like that. Self-doubt really has a way to heating you up from the inside. Oh yeah, you gotta say that. There's no point in dwelling on it, Loki. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. She chose you for a reason, okay? Yeah, let's suppose that's how it happened. Yeah, this year has got off to a good start, so let's keep it that way. Oh, by the way, I know it's not like midnight yet, but still, Happy New Year, pals. Hope you guys enjoyed this year with us. And with my company and my videos, hope they make you laugh, because that's why I record and why I say so many mean words. It's just because I want to try to take a laugh from you. That means if you laugh at my videos, that means that I'm doing my job well. I'm doing a good job. And, well, that makes me happy to know. Either way, let's keep going. Enough of the sentimental bullshit, let's go. A slow smile creeps onto my face as I get out of bed and start my morning routine. It's going to be an interesting year. Well, one thing I could do without is the bitter cold. It's always freezing around this time of the year. At least I'll have here to warm me up. Her love for snuggling up indoors with a book in hand might just come in a very handy. And she's also so warm whenever we hug. Really interesting patch of all, huh? In an attempt to vastly break out my trance, I make a mental effort to bring myself to focus on the girl in front of me. What? What? Okay. Emmy giggles. Come on, this is the first time in a while that I've been early, so I want to see the look on Sakurai's face. I grin. Lead the way. How was your Christmas break anyway? Pretty good, yeah. She must have picked up on the happiness in my voice as she bounces on the spot excitedly. I can tell what her next question is going to be. Oh, and why is that? Haha, well, you wouldn't understand. It's always nice spending Christmas with some friends, you know. There's a mischievous smile on her face that puts me slightly on edge. Especially when those friends are girls, huh? And of course that mischievous smile on her face is followed by a knowing smirk. What are you trying to say, Emmy? Yuri, Loki. Wait, that is her name, right? The girl with the purple hair? Yeah, why? Oh, nothing. Yuri, she totally knows something. She's a smart-ass girl. I saw you guys together on New Year's Eve, that's all. Well, there goes my hopes of being subtle. So, tell me everything. Thankfully, I'm spared from telling Emmy everything as the classroom door swings open and Sakurai strolls in. After setting down his papers, he turns to address the class. Morning, everyone. Hope you all had a good break. Lucky certainly did. I nudge her in the ribs. Oh, and why's that? Come on, brain, think of something. If you can somehow convince a girl like Yuri to like me, you must be capable. I did a lot of reading on 20th century history, so I am in a great position to hit the ground running this semester. Sakurai doesn't look entirely convinced, but he nods. Oh well, I'm sure he'll be able to answer a lot of questions that are coming up then. He startles and turns to face the blackboard. I glare at Emmy only to be met by a childlike grin. The 1920s and 1930s, guys. Believe me, these are some interesting years. Yeah, you could put it like that. And just like that, the lesson begun. Sometime later, I find myself wandering down to the club door. As it gets closer to the door, I spot a familiar figure. Another smile works its way onto my face. Good morning. Morning, Yuri. It's nice to see you again. Wait, isn't supposed the club to be at afternoon? Why are they saying good morning? She smiles shyly. There's no hiding the red blush that crept onto her face. Ah, and you. There's awkward silence for a moment. Of course it is given Yuri doesn't really know how to take a compliment, although that's part of what makes her so endearing. Shall we go inside then? Don't know about you, but I'm kinda hungry. She looks relieved at the change of topic. Yes, I was just about to suggest that. It's rather convenient timing that we are both let out at the same time, don't you think? That or both of our teachers happen to be hungry? You're the analytical one, so I'll leave that to you. With a small laugh, she opens the door and leads us through. To my surprise, we are the last ones in. Monica and Sayuri look deep in conversation about something, while Natsuki has her face firmly hidden behind some manga. The girls look over, while Monica and Sayuri do, and give us a brief smile before turning back to their conversation. Should we go over and talk to them? Yuri pauses for a moment as her eyes briefly go over to the other club members. She eventually shakes her head. Well, I wouldn't. It seems like they're all engrossed in their own thing. Fair enough. Works for me. We both take a seat and pull out our food. Unsurprisingly, Yuri's meal looks a lot fancier than mine. I motion towards it. Homemade, I'm guessing. Uh-huh. Yes, you can never go wrong with a vegetable stir-fry paired with rice. The combination of flavors is always satisfying to the taste buds. Yeah, I remember you saying. Oh, I don't sound like a broken record, do I? Huh? No, not at all. I just remember it because I thought it was really interesting how food meant so much to you. She doesn't look entirely convinced, but she starts eating nonetheless. A brief silence falls between us. Even though she's looking at her food, I get a shrewd suspicion that her focus is elsewhere. Say, have you given much thought about what you want to do after school? Probably go home and watch anime, why? We briefly make eye contact, seeing Yuri narrow her eyes, trying to figure out if it was sarcastic or serious. It's strangely enjoyable, in a silly sort of way. Yes, you're a little kid. Who would think otherwise? Eventually she realizes I'm joking and smiles as she shakes her head softly. You know what I mean. Truthfully, I don't really know. It's not really something I've spent a lot of time thinking about it. I'm being honest. I probably should give it some thought, though. Nah, I guess it just isn't high on my priority list. My eyes wander over to Sayuri and Monica. Sayuri looks like she's a little sad about something, while Monica's apparently trying to cheer her up. The sight of them talking makes me feel grateful, but also a little guilty. As much as I enjoyed spending time with Yuri, I haven't really seen much of Sayuri over the past few months. Still, it's good to know that she has other friends, right? Given how we are only second years, it's understandable. I return my gaze to Yuri. Judging by the look on your face, you've probably spent a little more time than I have on that matter. I suppose I could say that. Let me guess, you want to go to the university? To study stuff like Japanese. Was I really that obvious? It was just a really fitting pick, that's all. Yeah, I suppose it is. I imagine you're excited to go. The university? Yes and no, actually. Oh? Why? You would fit. University fits you. It's not you that fit on the university. University fits you. Okay, wait a bit. Interesting. I shall see this another time. Either way, let's get going. To university. Yes and no, actually. On the one hand, university can be such a stimulating place, the amount of things you can learn while you're there. In high school, you're naturally limited by what your teachers choose to teach. From what I've gathered, you're given much more independence at the undergraduate level. But on the other hand, I've been at school for almost all of my life. To make that jump specifically, especially if I were to go to the new part of the country, well, it definitely invokes a lot of anxiety. There's a comfort to be in routine, to be had in routine. I know exactly what to expect, well, for the most part, with school. Humans naturally dislike change, and as exciting as think higher education will be, it comes at a cost. Well, when you put it like that, yeah, I can definitely see what you mean. But I think it's something we all have to go through at some point, right? Even if we just go straight into work after leaving school. My eyes wander over to Natsuki. Her position hasn't changed in the slightest. Man, that manga must be pretty damn good. Here follows Milana off sight. Her eyes land on Natsuki as well. Given the already thoughtful look on her face, it's hard to tell if her thoughts have changed. Natsuki's only a first year, so I suppose there wouldn't be much sense in having this conversation with her. I don't think my post-school plans had even crossed my mind back when I was first got into high school. What about Sayori? Have you ever spoke about this with her? Well, I guess we kinda did. Like, not in the way we were supposed to, but we did, I believe. Oh well. Not really. We only began talking to one another a couple of times, a couple of months ago, and I catch myself just in time, mentioning that Sayori and I haven't had much time to ourselves because I've spent much time with Yuri, would just make Yuri feel bad. Well, I guess there just haven't been the right time. Besides, she never really struck me as someone who really gave much thought about her future, kinda like me. Whereas someone like Monica, well, the impression I get from her is that she's probably got a plan. I chuckled to myself, remembering how my parents used to say that my school years would flash by in the blink of an eye. I've had this conversation with my mom and dad before. It was a while ago, though. I think they wanted me to go to the university, so I guess our plans aren't too far off. Guessing you had a similar conversation with your parents, right? Yuri? Huh? Oh, yes, I think so. The vague, uncertain nature of her answer throws me off guard for a moment, but I'm not given much time to push it as Monica suddenly turns to us. Hey, you two, sorry about not saying hi just now. I was a little preoccupied. It's all good. Everyone seemed to be doing their own thing, so I don't think anyone really noticed. You okay, Sayori? You looked a little down when we walked in. Oh, I'm fine. What made you think that? I don't know. Guess you just looked like Monica. I don't know, I guess it just looked like Monica was trying to cheer you up about something. Just how I interpreted the situation, that's all. There's nothing wrong, silly. Now, how was your New Year's Eve? I glanced toward Yuri. There's a faint blush on her cheeks. It was really something. The look on Sayori's face goes from quizzical to understanding as she puts two and two together. Oh, you two, you're together, aren't you? I reach out and gently weave Yuri's hand into mine. Yeah, we are. I knew there was something going between you two. I'm so happy for you guys. Sayori's smile is so huge. It's almost bordering on insincere. Great, that's precisely what this club needs. Lovely dovey mushy stuff. Oh, you kinky bit. No, we are not done. Okay. Yeah. I'm surprised you would even notice that mushy stuff with how absorbed into your manga you seem to be. It doesn't block out the sound of people kissing, you know. That sounds like it came from personal experience. She tips her manga down to glare at me, I grin, and raise my free hand up in a comedy display to self-defense. To be fair, she has a point. PDAs are a major no-no for me. Don't worry, we'll save all the physical stuff for when you guys aren't around. That came out a little weird, don't you think, pal? What? Why are you all looking at me like that? You never really think before you open your mouth, do you? What do you mean? The sound of bell ringing cuts my question short, and soon after the sound of scrapping chairs fills the air as everyone starts packing up. It's only as we're all head towards the door that I realize why what I just said caused so much awkwardness. Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that, guys. But Monica, Natsuki, and Sayori are already gone. Desperately, I turned to Yuri. You know what I meant, right? I awkwardly rubbed the back of my head. Yuri? You know, you're quite endearing when you're flustered. She smiles and heads off. Oh, this game is on. Oh shit, here we go again. Yuri. Let's go. It's nice to have a day to myself for once. Seems like it's been a while since I haven't made plans for the weekend. Funny thing was joining a single club can do it your social life. Can do it your social life. That's probably an exaggeration for my part though. I'm just so used to staying in on the weekends that whenever I do go out, it's a huge deal in my mind. Let's see, what should I do? I'm absolutely overwhelmed by the possibilities. Well, I guess I should start by brushing my teeth and getting dressed. A fresh minty taste permeates my mouth. Unfortunately, orange juice is out of the question for now. Might as well make another foray into the world of cooking. That was one of the recipes Yuri told me about before. Egg rice? It sounded pretty simple back then. Let's see if it actually is. I half-heartedly swill some rice around in a bowl full of water. It's been a while since I've cooked rice for myself. I'm just too impatient to wait for it to cook. Let's start. Egg rice is pretty good. The mouthfeel is kind of slimy, but the taste is there. I don't know if I actually cooked it correctly, but how badly could I have messed up such a simple recipe? I might make it again the next time I'm too lazy to make something more complex. Yeah, no, you mean. Which is to say, basically every meal. This has got to be more healthy than instant meals, though, right? Wonder if Yuri is eating this right now too. She did say that she eats it for breakfast quite often. It's like that cheesy saying that people are connected by the same moon overhead. But instead of a moon, we are connected by eggy rice. Yuri does wake up earlier than me though, so she's probably finished eating by now. Speaking of Yuri, I should probably make some headway on one of the countless books she's recommended to me, if I want to be able to keep up with her. Dude, let me just check something real quick. Yuri. Speaking of Yuri, I should probably, already know this. Let's see. I've only gotten through a few more chapters in the book, but I'm already feeling restless. The plot isn't bad, but the themes seem a bit elusive to me. It interestingly employs a stream of consciousness style of narration to that I'm not supposed to reading. Wonder if Yuri ever gets bored when reading. It's not like she is some inhuman reading machine, so there must be some writers who she dislikes. Knowing her, she would be the type of person to soldier on an unfinished book. Anyway, despite her feelings towards it, maybe I should go outside and stretch my legs for a bit, then come back to the book later with fresh eyes. It's that type of winter day outside, that's sunny yet still chilly. The clear cold sunshine lights up the uniformly grey sky. This kind of sunlight has always reminded me a bit of fluorescent lights. It makes the earth seem strangely crystalline. Fortunately for me, it's not cold enough to warrant bundling up in a bunch of layers. Just my sweater is enough to keep me comfortable. Some people have crazy cold tolerance. I'll never be able to reach the levels of girls who can wear skirts in freezing weather. Speaking of which, there's a girl in a skirt approaching me. Looks like she's walking her dog. Is that Shiri? Hey Shiri, what's up? I didn't know you lived this close to me. Oh, is that your house over there? I wouldn't say I live too close by. You just said I'd take really long walks. Huh, maybe you should go on a run with Amy sometime. Huh, as if I would be able to keep up with her. Anyway, it's just that my dog really likes being outside, so I hit two birds with one stone by getting both me and my dog to exercise this way. Isn't that really Mochi? Is that right, Mochi? Oh. Mochi barks cheerfully in response, wagging his tail furiously. Mochi, that's a cute name. It matches his look too. He's really just a huge ball of white fur. Yep, Samoyeds look kinda like gigantic blobs of white mochi, don't they? I mean, maybe if you squint really hard and have a terrible vision. You just don't know how to appreciate dogs or mochi. You are. So, are you out enjoying the sunny day as well? Or are you gonna pop back into your nasty otaku den after this? Well, I decided to go. Hey, I do not have a nasty otaku den. I wouldn't even call myself an otaku. Just because a guy dabbles in the occasional anime or manga doesn't mean that he's an otaku. Don't forget the video games. Oh yeah, wait. Don't worry, I won't tell any girls about it. How do you even know that? What my how? How do you even know what hobbies I'm into? Look, just because I don't confiscate the manga you read in class doesn't mean I don't know this. You should be thankful you have such a chill class rap. Otherwise, next time you swap your manga with your buddies, you might find yourself in huge trouble. Says the girl who wildly modifies her uniform. And just so you know, the girls I hang out we don't mind those things. Or at least I don't think so. I'm just teasing you. Yeah. Do you have a cram school or something after this? I assume that's why you're wearing your uniform on a Saturday. No, just have it from my old school. I used to go to this real prestigious private school that required everyone to wear their uniform outside. Like every high school student wears the uniform when they go to academic related things like cram school. But we had to wear our uniforms when we were just hanging out outside of school too. Something about holding ourselves accountable for our conduct both in and out of school sounds suffocating. No kidding. Yo, that sounds like crap, not gonna lie. That sounds like shit. No kidding. The headmaster had a giant stick up his butt. So are you overcompensating with your current uniform then? Making up for all those years you couldn't customize your uniform? Let's just say that I'm glad the rules are less strict at our school. Mochi suddenly barks and tugs at his leash, causing Shiori to stumble a bit. Okay, Mochi. Looks like he wants to get going. I'll see you at school. See ya. Mochi runs off with struggling Shiori in tow. It's as if Shiori's the one being walked by her dog. Yeah, that sometimes happens. Well, I should probably head back in to finish my book anyhow. It's night by the time I flip over the last page of the novel and snap the cover shut. That's one book down, a billion more to go. Are you proud of me yet, Yuri? I'm about to contemplate rewarding myself by being an anime series when my cell phone rings. Speak of the devil, it's Yuri. I'm guessing that she's not calling to praise me on my literary accomplishments. Hey Yuri, what's up? Oh, hello. Just calling to say hi? Oh yes, I suppose so. Am I interrupting something? I hope I'm not bothering you. Don't worry, you're all good. I just finished one of the books you recommended me. Oh, which one? It was that translated story about the thief who gets released from jail and becomes obsessed with the people who put him in there. Oh, how did you like it? I think I like it overall. But it kind of made me feel a bit depressed too. How so? Well, the protagonist definitely isn't totally moral himself. I mean, he's a thief and ends up killing people by the end. But I couldn't help sympathizing with him. He lost everything while in jail, even his family, and just couldn't find his way back into society. Is it true that he absolutely couldn't help but slip back into his old ways, though? I guess not. He still have a mentor who gave him shelter and advice. Still, I found myself agreeing with him when he started to become sort of an anarchist revolutionary. I suppose he commiserated with the lack of justice from the protagonist's point of view. Yeah, I did like how ironic the ending was. The main character spends a whole book calling his enemies traitors and dogs, but in the end he gets killed by police dogs. I think that I would agree with you on the story being the rather melancholic one. It's quite the existential bit of literature. However, I do disagree with the protagonist's action myself. The way I see it, while the main character's life is unfair in some aspects, he also uses his anger and anarchist ideas to hide his own flawed character. After all, the story employs first-person narration and stream of a first-person narration and stream of consciousness, so there's an element of unreliable narrator there. That's true. He did try justifying some pretty bad things, but in the end, death is the greatest equalizer. Just as the protagonist dies, so shall he suppose enemies. It really makes you think about the futility of life. Yeah, don't really know what I'm supposed to say to that. And what a depressing turn this conversation's taken. Do you think that the main character could have changed though? I mean, if you were a real person or something. Well, it's not as thought people are locked into certain personalities and dispositions at birth. I believe that people's experiences can deeply change how they see the world. Oh, you wouldn't even know. Wait a bit. The main character certainly had the ability to change, but all the events that happened to him caused him to become misanthropic and embittered and full of hatred and despair, I would say. I would agree with that. This kind of touches on the nature versus nurture debate too, right? Nature versus nurture, one of the biggest questions regarding the human condition. I'm inclined to focus on how people's environment affects them rather than on what they're genetically predisposed to do. That's one of the reasons why I love reading people's both real and fictional stories so much. You get to see how the characters develop through all the conflicts they endure. It's almost like a parent watching their child grow, but sped up to fit in the few hours it would take you to read the book. It might only take you a few hours, but it would probably take me much longer than that. It doesn't seem to take long time when you become completely absorbed by the story. And what's amazing about literature is that it can even make you sympathize with despicable people by showing you how their mindsets are warped by their experiences. But how do you know how much of a person's personality can be attributed to nature or nurture? There's no real way you can measure that kind of thing. Oh, good point. What if your brain is wired in a way that makes you more likely to enjoy things like literature and tea? Maybe dopamine gets released in your brain in a different way than it does in mine. That's just an example though. I'm no neuroscientist. Perhaps how much is the wrong question. It may be more accurate to ask something along the lines of how nature and nurture interact. Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed the novel. I may be sending more recommendations your way soon. Hold on, I still have a long list of books to go. Thanks for giving me all these recommendations though, it's really helped ease me back into the literature world. Well, if you count the children books I've read as a kid as a part of the literature world. Of course, I'm always happy to share my love for literature with others. I can practically hear a smile in her voice. You know, this is actually the first time today that I've picked up my phone to use. Do you call people often then? Nah, I mean I mostly use it to play games and read random posts online. Today's been really quiet for me though, in a good way. All I did was cook, read and go for a walk. And talk to you. That sounds like a lovely day. Quite similar to mine actually. Seems like you are really rubbing off on me. We'll have to gather a bit at that. These gentle moments we hear, I wish they could last forever. I hope that's a good thing. Are you kidding me? Of course it is. My mom would kill for a daughter like you. I realized too late that what I just implied. Good one. You're probably gonna hang up from embarrassment now. With how shy she is. I mean, you definitely have better grades than me and stuff. I'm sure you're simply doubting yourself. Anyway, it's getting a bit late, so yeah. Well, I'll talk to you later. See you in school. See ya. Smooth, Lucky, smooth. Yeah, smooth. Hmm. Let's see, let's see. Another day, another 7 or so hours spent indoors at school. Countless hours lost training to enter the rat race of corporate life, conditioning us to equate wealth and self-worth. Gosh, you suddenly sounding like Yuri. Well, let's get dressed. That's more like it. No time for breakfast today, unfortunately. I'm not going to degrade myself by running around with a toast in my mouth either, so an empty stomach it is. Maybe I can grab a coffee from the vending machine somewhere. I wouldn't mind snagging bread from the school store either. Melon bread has always been my favorite, if a bit childish. Sari always liked it a lot too. Well, I guess she would like any kind of sweet bread. Oh, bread is really good as well. It's definitely a comfort food to me. Fried bread with curry filling, man, I'm making myself hungry. You're only torturing yourself here, you masochist. I can't help but feel something niggling at the back of my mind. It's a weird nebulous feeling, like something just a bit off. Don't tell me I forgot something. Quickly hoisting my bag in my arms, I rifled through its contents. Nope, looks like all my homework and workbooks are here. You're forgetting Sayuri. Nope, looks like all my homework and workbooks are here. Well, no use driving myself crazy over it. If I have my stuff with me, I can probably wait. It's probably not that important anyway. Oh, so Sayori is not that important. Within a few minutes, the school comes into view. Wait a minute. I stopped cold, mentally facepalming myself. I'm not walking with Sayori. Actually, I haven't walked to school with her in a while. Now that I think about it, the last time I walked with her was before winter break. By this time I'm literally in front of the school though, so it would be total overkill to rush back just so I could walk with her. Besides, it's nearly time for school to start. If she isn't nearly here by now, she's gonna be late. And if I go back to look for her, I'll be late too. Feels a bit like I'm betraying her though. With one last glance back, I stepped through the school gates. I'll just have to check up on her at the club. Who knows, maybe she started coming to school earlier. It wouldn't be hard to get here earlier than me after all. I've got to remember to catch up with her one of these days. Sayuri, when we were kids, we were practically inseparable. What happened to us? Best friends forever, huh? Rest my hand on my hand and close my eyes, letting Sakurai's drowning wash over me. Soon enough, I can barely reduce the lecture going on in the background. Syria was pretty cute as a kid. She used to always wear tank tops and shorts. Cute. Let's take a brain screen. Her hair was just messy back then, as it is now. It's kind of embarrassing to admit that we thought that we would get married in the future. Of course, kids don't really get what marriage actually is. But we just kind of expected everything to stay the same forever. These are all too good, like, I don't know. Too good thumbnails, I would say. Forever a long time though, and nothing planned out the way we thought it would. I wonder if she regrets losing contact for so long. Funny thing, how you can drift apart despite being neighbors. I don't know if I would say that she's changed a lot, but things were still pretty different. Not to mention that I've definitely changed too. And now, Yuri. How I managed to get a girl like Yuri to fall for me, I'll never know. This one I'll have to say probably will be the thumbnail today, I don't know. I'm just searching for good thumbnails. If anything, uh, my dating Yuri now shows how much I've changed, from hanging out with loudmouthed bubbly girls to quiet bookish types. Maybe that whole opposite attract thing is future. Kinda. It's true. It's true, yeah, maybe. Not that our personalities are so different, I feel like I'm becoming more and more like her every day. Or at least I hope so. Intelligent, well-spoken, shooting. Well, it's not like she doesn't have her flaws, though. It seems like Yuri has plenty of baggage herself to the society anxiety, for one thing. With any luck, I'll be able to rub off on Yuri too and help her with some of her issues. Don't expect that I'll be able to cure her from anything by myself, but hopefully I'll be able to support her where she needs it. It's funny how much brighter the future can seem if you can be together with someone that you truly care about together. Forever? What the? Huh? Siri? You said we would be together forever. Wait, so why? But that was when we were kids. Why did you leave me all alone? I'm sorry, Is my friendship not enough? I don't know what happened. I thought that you wanted me around again. When we start walking together again? But I guess I was wrong. No, that's not it. This is who you really want, right? Stop, it's not like that. I just hope that the same thing won't happen to her. That's not what happened. We can't stay in the past like this. I'm sorry about what happened between us, but please don't break her heart just like you did mine. This isn't healthy. We can't change the past. Please just hear me out. Why aren't you saying anything? I'm trying, I really am. Please just say something. I don't want it to be like how it was before. Don't leave me without words for years. Tell me that you're not going to run away again. I was scared. Tell me that you can at least face me. Please. I'm sorry, Sayuri. Hey, but no matter how many times I apologize, I won't change anything. We have to move on from this, otherwise we won't be able to fix anything. I didn't choose Yuri over you, I care about you both, just in different ways. Please, Sayuri, let's look forward to the future together. You, me, Yuri, and Asuka and Monica. Let's all support each other, friends forever, right? Isn't that right, Yuri? Yuri? The past is never dead. It's not even past. Huh? That's a quote from Requiem for a Nun. By Faulkner. What? I don't expect that you've read any of these works, though. Haha, you're not much of a reader, are you? You'll never be able to keep up with me, you know. I can tell that you're being insincere every time we speak about literature. That's not true at all. You don't have to keep up all your false pretenses, otherwise you'll just come off as a pseudo-intellectual. Yuri, why? Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Hey, stop. Loki, no. Hey! Wah! Jeez, if you want to sleep in class, you should really be stealthier. What? Sleep? So it was just a dream then. It gives me a moment to get my bearings back, and once my head's clear, I'm back in reality. And in this case, reality is history class. How the hell am I supposed to control how I wake up? By not sleeping so deeply, for one thing. Yeah, I called your name a bunch of times before you woke up. You're lucky that we were supposed to be doing a group activity right now. Otherwise, it might have been Sakurai waking you up with a slap from the workbook. Yeah. Very good class rep you are, letting classmates sleep in class. Hey, I can report you if you want me to. No, I think I'm good, thanks. I would be good after taking a nice long nap too. Hey, give me a break. Yet another school day is done and over with. Fortunately, the rest of my classes are less eventful. Now I've got to try and stay awake in the literature club. My phone suddenly begins to vibrate and I I stepped to the side of the corridor to check it. Huh? It's Monica. Scratch that. It's a new group chat she made for the literature club. That's actually pretty smart. Hey guys, no club today. Sorry for the short notice. I have class rep meeting. Whoa, that emoji suits you perfectly, Nasky. Yada yada, I'm gonna use that now. Wait, how do I do that emoji? That doesn't make any sense. Hmm. Yeah, why can't I do it? But I know something that can. I had an app that could do that kind of things. I just need to find it. Where is it? Where is it? Hmm. Weird. It was supposed to be around here. That's odd. Oh, here it is. Oh yeah, this would totally be my emoji like that. Okay, I'll keep it like that. Okay, let's keep going. Whoa, that cow emoji suits you perfectly, Nasky. Lol, yeah, it's that a pic of you in real life. Shut up. I chuckled to myself as I put my phone away. You could say I'm carrying the literature club around in my pockets now. My smile turned into a sick, though, as I watch everyone around me rushing to their respective clubs. Guess it's a go-home club for me today. I'm home. Maybe I'll take a quick nap. Not my mom home. My mom's home to nag me about it. Flopping down on my bed, I burn my fist in the covers. However, my relaxation is cut short when my phone rings, startling me out of my daze. God damn it, this better be good. Oh, it's Yuri. Hello? Oh, hi. What's up, Yuri? Tell me if I'm being too forward, but would you mind if I came over to your house right now? Sure thing. Do you just wanna hang out or, well, this may be a little strange for me to say, but my house is a little too quiet for me today. It's not that I'm afraid in the traditional sense of the word, but I feel very unsettled by myself. It's really, that really is weird. You're of all people having troubles with things being quiet. Are your parents not at home? No, they aren't. Do you want me to meet you at your place and walk you back? We could take the bus too. No, you really don't have to bother. It's seriously no bother. I'm not doing anything now, so no, it's fine, really. I want to walk by myself for a while and gather my thoughts. Well, if you're sure, call me if you need me to come, alright? Okay, thank you. I'll be seeing you shortly then. See you in a bit. So Yuri's coming over, huh? Oh man, I really need to clean up this place. Yes, you do. Right. Okay, let's get going. I can't help but think that it would have been easier for me to just go over to her place. Oh well, I've got to take better care of my house anyway. I can't believe how hard I'm breathing just from cleaning things up. Granted, I've really been spending along to finish. I've been speeding along to finish on time, but still, right on cue the doorbell rings. Hopefully I don't look as frenzied as I feel. Hey Yuri, hello, thanks for having me in such a short notice. It's all good. What kind of boyfriend would I be if I wasn't accommodating to you? To be honest, it feels a little surreal when I think about how I'm dating Yuri. And judging by the blush on Yuri's face, you feel the same way. Even if you say that as your girlfriend, I should consider it of your schedule too. Well, my schedule's completely free right now, so come on in. Yuri smiles a shy smile that puts at my heart. A gust of wind whistles through the open door, momentarily causing us to shiver. It's gotten pretty cold outside, huh? It's definitely winter. Although it's my favorite season, the chill can be less than comfortable. Good thing I know the perfect remedy for that, cuddling together indoors with a good book. That does sound wonderful. Can I get you anything to drink? Any hot tea that you have would be perfect. Fine by me. I think I have some green tea or black tea left. I quickly pop into the kitchen and start searching through the cabinets. Pots, pans, baking supplies, spices. Did I somehow run out? I don't even drink tea that often. As I shove a box of cake mix back onto a shelf, a couple of packets of powder fall onto the floor. What's this? I wonder if this would do. Hey, I hope I didn't leave you waiting for too long. Really, it's fine. It makes me happy just being here. Not as happy as I am with you here. Man, when did I turn in such a cornball? That cheesy line made Yuri giggle at least. Anyway, I couldn't find any tea, but I found this. If you like to try it, would you like to try it out? I hold up the packets of cocoa powder for you to examine. Hot cocoa? I've never had the powdered version before, so let's try it. Oh, your adventurous side is coming out here. Haha, maybe. Oh, that's not the only adventurous side you'll be seeing here. Let's keep going. I'm not one to turn down a hot drink during the winter. Let's get going then. Within a few moments we have 2 steaming mugs and instant cocoa in front of us. Having just been mixed, a tan froth swirls into a spiral on the surface. Yuri peers down into the liquid with a look of anticipation. I still can't believe that you've never had instant cocoa before. And I bet you're the type of person who heats up the milk on the stove rather than in the microwave too. Microwaves are simply inferior devices as compared to stoves. Of course. Well, do you want to try it then? I suppose so. She raises the mug to her lips and takes a hesitant sip. There's a strange look on her face. I mean, I don't expect an instant powder to be able to match up with the real thing, but I can't tell if she likes it or not. What do you think? I don't really know how to describe it. It tastes like it was made from an instant mix. Exactly. We both circle at that, filling the warm kitchen with warmer laughter. Yuri closes her eyes and sits contentedly, tracing the rim of her mug with her finger. I remember my mother making me hot cocoa during Christmas time when I was younger. Even now I can never make my cocoa as creamy as she could. Don't you still have cocoa with your mom? Oh yeah, probably your parents died. You can just freeload of her. That is, I used to freeload of her for many more things during the holidays. Once I even ended up eating all of her peppermint bark. Huh, I didn't know you had such a sweet tooth. Now that I think about it though, Yuri has shown the propensity for eating sweets before. Well, it's a bit more understated now, but when I was in elementary school I definitely did. I suppose I grew out of it. Anyway, I believe that one of the reasons why my mother started teaching me how to cook was because I was always asking her to cook something for me. That makes sense. I think my mom probably wishes she did that as well. I was quite voracious eater as a child. If we would be friends as kids, we probably could have eaten our parents out of house and home between the two of us. Actually, I guess Sayuri and I kind of did that anyway, huh? Sayuri's appetite is forever as insatiable it would seem. You've got it right. The two of you spent your Christmas times together then. We were practically thick as thieves within a week of our first meeting. I think we spent every single Christmas together until middle school. That was when you two drifted apart, wasn't it? Yeah, to be honest, I still feel kind of guilty about that. Was it not mutual? The diminishing of your friendship, I mean. It happened kind of naturally in my opinion, so I guess it was mutual. I don't know. That was around the time the divorce was happening, so I was preoccupied with my own angst at the time too. I'm sure that contributed a lot to it. I see. It's no wonder that you might have felt like not talking then. Guess so, Siri, my mom and I used to really close back then. Your mother may be busy working now, but you can still maintain your relationship with Sayuri, couldn't you? After all, you did spend this past Christmas with her along with the rest of the Leisure Club. Don't want to tell you that I've kind of dropped off in hanging out with Sayuri again after beginning to date her. Yeah, but I still feel like it's not enough to make up for her, I don't think. Like I'm not the only one with problems, right? Yes, but that doesn't invalidate your issues. I really value our friendship, but at the same time I would feel weird if I suddenly talked to her about this stuff. How am I supposed to act all moody with such a bright and bubbly girl? Hell, I don't even know how much uh, I don't even know much about her current life. Don't know who her other friends are, or whether she likes anyone or anyone likes her. So what gives me the right to butt back into her life again? But you still can but you still want to remain close to her, and I suspect that you do. You'll have to somehow confront the guilt within you. Maybe if you just speak to her about it, you'll find that she doesn't blame you for anything at all. Actually, I think that's what she would likely say to you. Yeah, Sarah is the type of person to forgive and forget. I've always liked her optimism. I kinda balanced out my occasional cynicism. Where, where do you think the two of you would be if you hadn't drifted apart? I don't know. Well, like Rose, for one thing. I'd probably be a lot more tired all the time from taking care of her. Have you seen the way she can come out of her house in the mornings? She can be pretty needy, but in a good way. I'm sure only exaggerating after all, so here's a cute girl. Oh, 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 so she meant it like that, so you only got it now. Look, you're the most oblivious guy. You're the most oblivious guy in existence. If we hadn't drifted apart, I probably would have joined the literature club sooner too. Then I could have met you sooner. Who knows? Another timeline, we could be celebrating our 1 year anniversary already. That's a relatively good save, isn't it? Maybe. I would give anything in the world for this moment, though. Wait, would? No, I wouldn't. Isn't that right? No, I would give, yeah, I would. I would give anything in the world for these moments, though. When we're just talking together in a cozy place, I slide my fingers between hers and squeeze her hand, which remains limp in my grip. Please don't be as upset as my imagination is making you out to be. Suddenly he pushes a chair back and stands up. Sorry, but could I use the bathroom? Of course. You know where it is, right? Yes, now please excuse me. Yuri quickly leaves the room, leaving me alone with our long-cooled cocoa. Ugh, why do you always have to mess things up? That's a good-ass question. Why do you always mess up? She's probably cutting herself. I put my head down on the table, closing my eyes and letting out a heavy sigh. The table is cool on my forearms, but I can feel my cheeks heating up. And what is this? Embarrassment? Guilt? I can't tell. Just calm down. Calm down. Huh? Did I manage to doze off? I must have developed narcolepsy or something. More importantly, though, where's Yuri? Is she still in the bathroom? I probably only knocked out for a minute or two. Ollie, it's dark outside. A quick look at my phone confirms that I have been asleep for an hour. Maybe Yuri left already. It would be in character for her to not want to disturb me in my sleep. I would better check the bathroom though, just in case. Oh, I'm afraid of what we're gonna see in the bathroom. The door's closed and I don't want to try the doorknob just in case Yuri's still in there. Good. It's a sharp nail like someone is sucking the air through their teeth. Okay. Yuri, are you in there? A loud yelp sounds from within, followed by a clattering of something falling on the floor. Are you hurt? Hold on, I'm coming in. Smile with the doorknob turns in my grasp. No. You won't like what you will see. You won't like. This might be an invasion of privacy, but if she's hurt... Yuri. Huh? She quickly pulls her sleeve down. She grieves my in pain as she does. It must have agitated the fresh wounds. Well, it seems that my brain has short-circuited. I have no idea where I should look. I somehow can't bring myself to make eye contact. Yuri opted to hide her face behind a sheet of hair, nervously weaving a strand of hair between her fingers. Yuri. Did you do that? Would you believe me if I said that I didn't? What did you use? Yuri eyes that downwards for a second. There's a bloody razor blade on the floor. The tiles around it splatter in tiny droplets of blood. Yuri, it is no good. I usually pick it up with two fingers and wrap it in the wad of toilet paper. Have you been cutting yourself in here this whole time? No answer, she still won't look at me. Why? Was it because what I said about Yuri? Yuri, I'm sorry, truly, I should have been more considerate. I didn't mean to come off that way, I was just... At this she finally breaks the silence. No, Yuri, it's not your fault. I'm afraid that it's just me and my own failings. What are you talking about? If I hadn't said anything... This would have been inevitable. Huh? Don't get what you're saying. Could you help me understand, please? Okay. But could you give me a little time to clean up and think things through a bit? Of course, I'll be waiting in the living room. Wait. What is it? Do you need any help? Just need some bandages and rubbing alcohol to clean and dress my arm. There should be some in the medicine cabinet over there. Feel free to help yourself to anything you need. And tell me if you need any help. I got it. Now excuse me. I shuffle out of the bathroom, although not before I pocket the toilet paper covered razor blade. That thing is going straight into the trash. Yes, burn it. Yuri, my body feels like stone as I sink into the couch. I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to think. You leave me, pal. Could be way worse. The reality of it all is just beginning to hit me. Yuri cuts herself? Is it true that I have never seen her without long sleeves before? But how could she be doing such a thing, and why? Does her family know about it? All of the sudden an evidence of thoughts pour into my mind as if a dam had burst in my brain. With the shock worn off, there's just so much to think about. Is Yuri seeing a doctor for this? There's got to be some kind of therapist that specializes in this, right? And I hate to think about it, but is Is Yuri suicidal? Yes, she is. She. I said this in like a playing tone, but yeah, she is suicidal. What would you expect from someone that cuts herself? It's not me being rude or something, but yeah, she is suicidal. We know that a lot because of what happened in. Well, you know the roads. Wait, what is this? What in the fuck is going on in here? This one looks like Natsuki. This person here looks like Natsuki. Why is there Saitama? Now that I'm seeing some Easter eggs around. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm so lost in my ruminations that I hardly notice when Yuri is in front of me. Oh, you're out. Are you okay? Sorry, that was a moronic thing to say. Are you good to talk though? If you're not comfortable, you don't have to. No, it's okay. I would feel terrible if I were to leave you clueless. Really, you don't have to force yourself. But this is the sort of situation where I do need to force myself. Oh god, we're in a cycle of uncomfortable politeness. Well, if you're sure. But just remember that you don't have to tell me everything if you're not ready yet. Thank you. We sit together in silence for a moment, even though we're right next to each other. It feels like there's an unfathomable gap in between us. A gap that I may never be able to comprehend. Yuri clears the throat. Look, just so you know, this isn't any of your doing. I know what you're thinking. You probably think that I'm jealous of Sayuri, and that's why I cut myself, right? Yeah, that is what I was thinking, but I'm guessing that is not true. She nods slowly. Yeah, to be honest, I'm actually jealous of Sayuri, but not in that way. I trust you. Enough to know that you wouldn't secretly harbor feelings for someone else, that is. I'm jealous of Sayuri as a person. I wish I were anyone but me. Tears start pulling in the corners of Yuri's eyes as her voice starts to waver. Wait, I don't remember this sprite, so a little print won't hurt. I wish that I could be cute and bubbly and energetic, not this gloomy self-pitying milquetoast of a girl. She struggles to get the words out through a tear, her strength stutter marking the severity of her emotional turmoil. Yuri, that's not all either. I'm jealous of your relationship with Sayuri. I could never imagine being that close to someone. To be more accurate, I'm jealous of the relationship itself. I reach out to hold Yuri in my arm, but stop when she flinches at my touch. What about us? Don't you think that we are close? I love you just the way you are, Yuri. It's not that she means, you asshole. She shakes her head, wiping at her face with a sleeve. I've been keeping all the secrets from everyone, including you. This is like a self-exile, isn't it? The wavering laugh she makes breaks my heart. How can I be so close to someone if I can't help but hide my true self? Yuri, I don't really know what to say, except to deny your claims. There is a reason why I started dating you, because I love you, not anyone else. I would say that. And these thoughts, this is why you cut yourself today? Do you do it often? I harm myself when I get overwhelmed by my emotions. Obviously I wasn't thinking straight when I went to the bathroom just then. I hate myself so much sometimes that I need to take it out on my skin and flesh. How else I'm going to receive my punishment? Punishment? You don't need to be punished for anything. You need to stop doing this to yourself, Yuri. She gives me an absolutely miserable look. I know, but I don't know if I can. Could you please try to stop though? Please? Have you talked to your parents about it? Could they help? There's a long moment of silence. When Yuri finally speaks, it's very laughable. I imagine they would have done everything in their power to help me. It suddenly hits me like a truck. Your parents are dead. Oh, so the man itself now understood the old situation. He now understood why she always avoided talking about her parents. Yuri, you're such an idiot. And I gave you my name. My special name. Your parents are dead. All these clues and I never noticed. Her nervousness whenever I asked about her family, her constant use of the past sentence when talking about them. My eyes begin to tear up at the realization of all the pain that Yuri has been through. She looks like she's trying to put on a strong front, but tears quickly begin to roll down her face again. They're gone, aren't they? All at once she buries her face in my chest, muffling a quiet weeping. Yuri. I gently wrap my arms around her. We sit together like that for who knows how long. The warmth of our embrace reassures me, telling me that Yuri is safe with me for now. But at the same time a voice in the back of my head says that her mind, her thoughts are unreachable. All I can do now is hold her, lonely as she is in the land of tears. Yuri, she stopped crying by now, but still seems to be hiding from the world in my chest. Hey, do you want to go to bed now? We can talk about anything else you want in the morning. Yes, that sounds nice. She slowly rises up and stretches, combing through her hair with her fingers. Oh, and one last thing. And tell me if it's personal for you to share. What is it? Do you ever think about killing yourself? No. Sorry, but no. I don't want to die, but I can't find any other way that I can cope with this life. I see. You can't say I completely understand it, but I'm extremely relieved to know that. At least. At last, one Yuri that is not suicidal. We did it, boys. Or maybe we didn't. Who knows? You... Could we get to bed now? I'm afraid that I'm emotionally exhausted. Of course, let's head upstairs then. You can take my bed, I'll just sleep in the couch in the living room or something. Wait! He suddenly reaches out and takes hold of my sleeve. We can sleep together. Huh? A blush reddens Yuri's pallid face. In the same bed, it would be unfair to ask you to do otherwise. Please don't leave me alone. Don't worry, I would never do that to you. We get ready to bed as soon as we find ourselves snuggled together under the covers. Neither of us speak, but the silence of the room is imbued with a certain understanding. Yuri clings onto my arm as we fall asleep together, her slender arms intertwined with mine. Right as I'm about to succumb to sleep, I hear a murmur from Yuri. Don't leave. My tongue is thick from drowsiness, but I manage to get one word in reply. Never. Never. Never surrender. As I'm slowly roused back into consciousness, I let a long yawn, watching the faint streams of sunlight permeate my room. I'm still feeling a little drowsy, so I should just wait. Why does my chest feel so warm? As my eyes stick inside the front of me, the memories from last night come flooding back. The cuts, the fear on the face, the plea to stay with me overnight. One of her sleeves has pushed up slightly, affording me a sight I would rather I didn't have access to. Seeing such marks on Yuri's pale arm, some of which still look fairly new, I wince as thought I my own flesh with which bears the scars. Yuri. Why? Now, so many questions. A small sound from Yuri pulls me away from flurry of thoughts in my head. It sounds like a content sig. If I look closely, I can make out a small smile on her face as she clings to me a little harder. A wave of happiness courses through me, which, having seen her scars again, feels a little foreign. Still, it feels incredible to take someone you love cuddle up against you in their sleep. Something about the physical closeness during such an intimate moment. I hope I don't need to censor this. I reach out and gently stroke the top of her head. She smells faintly of lavender, her hair soft and silken. It's a given that someone like Yuri takes care of herself, I suppose, with no parents around. Is that when she started? No, I don't want this moment ruined by anything. We can talk about all of that stuff later. Just want to see her happy for now. Just see her happy, so for now I just want to focus on the smell and softness of her hair, along with the feel of her head on my shoulder. On my chest. I don't know how long we stayed in this peaceful embrace, but eventually Yuri steals off, offering me a smile as she rises from my chest. Rubbing her eyes as she slowly sits up, she lets out a small yawn. That's a silence for a moment. You were up before I was. Yeah, hard to believe, right? Don't worry, I found it just as hard to believe as you do. My attempt to humor is weak. Yuri laughs as well, but it's easy to tell that it's a little forced. There's no denying the tension. The elephant in the room may have been averted while we were sleeping. But there's no escape now. So, Yuri, I was wondering. She abruptly gets out of bed and heads to the door without a glance back in my direction. She speaks. Her receptive tone surprises me. Let's make breakfast. But, please? She turns to face me, and while she isn't making eye contact, I can read the message on her face. Not yet. Warily, I climb out of bed and follow her down the hallway, wondering how the rest of the day will go. Good question. I don't know either. Yuri. To say the breakfast wasn't a comfortable affair would be quite the understatement. Yuri wasn't making eye contact and even stopped frequently to ensure her sleeves were completely covering her wrists. Every time she picked up a knife to cut some food, I couldn't help but wince. My mind was doing me no favors. Has she cut herself with a knife? Probably, yeah, she has a knife collection. Last night she used a razor blade. Does she have a stash of them at home? Or is she cutting habit related to her knife collecting hobby? The tension has grown tenfold since she woke up. I'm desperately trying to think of a way to break the uneasy silence, but I can't come up with anything. Diplomacy can only get me so far. How am I meant to even approach the topic? I've never had a friend who self-harmed before. I stare to the last remaining crumbs of my meal. Eating in silence has proven to be unbelievably awkward. Desperate for something to do, I stand up and head for the sink. At least the prospect of watching up my plate gives me something to focus on. As I stand by the sink, your voice pierces the silence. I'm really sorry. For what? She gestures around her. For this, for everything. I dump the unwashed plate in the sink and walk over to her. She is staring forlornly at the ground. You don't have to apologize for anything. Seriously. Am I the only person who knows? Yes. Then, well, sorry if I sound presumptuous, but... Well, I imagine it must be pretty hard, right? Very much so. It is a little overwhelming. I take one of her hands in mine. She is shaking. It's okay, Yuri. It's okay. Just take your time. There's no rush. She nods. I imagine you probably have a few questions you want to ask. There's no point trying to beat around the bush here. Yeah, there are. I wince at how direct that sounds. Then again, I am really curious so I can't exactly win with either way, can I? She takes a deep breath. What would you like to know? Oh boy, where do I even begin? How long has she been an orphan for? When did she start cutting? There are so many choices. It's probably best to start with the one understanding of her self-harm, though. Well, why do you do it? She closes her eyes and slowly lets that breath out through her nose. She's still closing her eyes as she talks. It's a way of coping. Huh? It's how I deal with sadness and self-loathing within. Self-loathing? People have never liked me. All throughout my life I've never been accepted. People never understood me, nor did they ever take the time to try to. I've never been particularly sociable, as you can see. I much prefer to keep to myself. Now that I'm alone wouldn't be so hard. Wouldn't be too bad. Some people misread the introversion, but combined with my fascination with horror and knife collecting hobby, these things combined tend to make people see me as creepy, a freak, an outcast. That quiet girl in the back who doesn't speak much, the girl who is fascinated by the macabre. Oh, so like that memes of the quiet kid who always has guns with him. Yuri, why? This joke so firmly in here. This is quite a recent pun. Why is it so firmly in here? This is not a recent mode, I believe. This is an old mode. I believe it's from 2016-17, I don't know. Either way, it's no wonder they judged me. Anyway, so that's why. She takes a few deep shaky breaths in an attempt to calm herself down. I didn't realize how difficult this must be for you to talk about. I'm so sorry. The growing look on her face startles me. No, don't you ever apologize for my own shortcomings. I deserve to be weak, but you don't. Why would you even think that? Because, like I said, I was always judged for who I was. Initially I thought it was everyone else who was wrong. She laughs bitterly. Oh, such arrogance. No, it wasn't them who were wrong, it was me. But if it were just one person who judged me in such a way, well, I would be inclined to believe the problem lied in them. But it wasn't just one person, it was everyone. There gets to the point when you finally realize that it's not them not them that are the problem. It's you. No, pal, that is not a moment to realize that. Because you're never the problem when someone judges you. Yeah, sometimes some of your actions can make someone judge you. But since the moment they start judging you, the problem is not only yours, it's them as well. Is their problem as well, because they are judging you without knowing you well enough. So it's not only your problem, it's a problem from the ones who are judging. The way people judge nowadays, it's some sort of a bullying way. Because they don't care if they hurt your feelings, they don't care if they make your life a living hell. They just want you to be what they think society has to be. So you cannot be yourself for them, because yourself is weird, is wrong, and they judge you by that. Because we live in a society that wants to control everyone's likes and dislikes, wants to control everyone's like some kind of power. I would say willpower. They want to control that. They want to control us to have like a general likes and dislikes, because they think that the world would be easier if everyone was equal to each other. Meanwhile, if you think about it, wouldn't it be really like monotonous to live in a world where everyone is like you? Wouldn't it be so depressing to live in a world where everyone thinks like you, acts like you? Imagine how it would be. Weird, depressing even. We live in a society that doesn't accept changes, that doesn't accept like different things. Like, this is a stupid example, but LGBT is a great proof of that. Most of the people, yeah, some of them accept, but most of the people don't accept like gays, don't accept like lesbians, bisexual people, transgender. They don't accept that because their mindset is like, that's not the society, that's not how the society should be. But that's a choice from a person, isn't it? Why should you try to control a person's choice? Like, I do like knives as well. That doesn't make me a murderer. That doesn't make me a horror fanatic. That doesn't make me a killer. Yeah, I'm a quiet guy. I like knives. Their style, their blades. There are so many different types of blades, types of handles, shapes, colors, styles, sizes. I like that about them. But does that make me weird just because I like knives? Come on. Everyone has something weird that they like. We are not all the same, and that's what makes the world special. People should think more on that perspective than think about everything else. The world is not a ball of sunshine. The world is not an easy place to live. Like I said, we live in a society that hardly lets everyone's wills be like theirs, because they want to make everyone's wills like be their own wills. Not something you like, but something they like, and they try to make you like it as well. So it will be easier to manipulate everyone. We live in a society that doesn't care about others' well-being. They only care about themselves. They only look at themselves, like they were the only people that existed in this fucking world. in this doomed place we called Earth. We called house, we called home, we call every fucking thing you want. We live in a society that doesn't care about all that, doesn't care about the differences and doesn't care about all the good things you have. They only care about judging and making you a puppet. That's what this society thinks and wants to make you, a puppet. But you have to fight against it. There is a time where you need to say stop to all of that stuff. And I'm serious, I'm not even joking. I'm being serious right now. I know I always like say this kind of stuff like playing and like I'm joking and all, but I'm serious right now. We live in a society that doesn't give a shit about morals, doesn't give a shit about what you like or not. They simply don't care. And that's what makes this society such a trash. This society is trash because of that. Some people make this society a shit. This game is showing that pretty much. Like on Natsuki's road we saw how like she was discriminated by her size, like by her likes and dislikes. That's why she created a persona for herself, a tsundere persona, so that she could feel good with herself. Yuri is the same thing. She got judged by liking knives, like horror. They associated her like a girl that only loves macabre and stuff. And she cuts herself to try to alleviate things. You never do that. Never. If you do that, stop. Really stop. Get some help. That is not healthy. You know that fucking well. I always say, guys, if you have depression, don't watch these mods. When I see that the mod is going to be dark, because I don't just pick mods out of the internet and pretend like I never played them. Most of them I never played really. But I search them, I search what they are about. And especially when I see the warnings in the beginning, I always say, guys, 13 years, like if you are under 13 years, 15 years, don't watch. Close this video and go watch another video, another channel, whatever you want. Just don't watch this video. These videos are not for you to watch if you are under this age, because the topics in it are extremely heavy, extremely dark. It's something that kids are not ready to deal with and can give them depression, can give them a lot of psychological stuff that you don't have to have, you never want to have. Like, even when you get older, you never want to have that shit. Imagine having to suffer depression when you were a kid. When you are a kid, imagine having to suffer depression. Imagine that. Imagine a kid having to fight all of that alone. Do you think they can? This society doesn't give a shit about that. This society is so messed up that doesn't give a damn about what is happening around themselves. For as long as the big dogs have what they want, society is happy. They make like the society is happy because we are okay. The society is not happy. This is not how it was supposed to be. We are human beings, we are smart, we have the power to think, to act, to have emotions, to control our own destiny, to change the way we think, to change the way the world sees and thinks. And people use that the wrong way, to destroy lives, to destroy ways to think. That's messed up. That is not something that should be happening. And the worst part is, the big dogs doesn't give a shit. They do that because they want power, and the search for power from them is so big, so deep, that they don't care about who they have to hurt to get to the top. And that's what makes this society such a trash. such a virus, such a cancer. That's what makes this society something harmful to everyone, especially teenagers. You might think, you're a teenager, you don't know what depression is. What are you talking about? Buddy, I've lived like this for 8 years. You want to talk about depression? Come to me, pal. I know way more about it than more adults know. I've lived like this for 8 years. You think it was easy to endure all this? You think it's just a damn fucking phase? It is not. Because that's the adult's answer for everything. It's just a phase. These teenagers think that they have depression. Ho, it's just a phase. It's not a phase. It is not a fucking damn phase. Just as you are able to get depression as an adult, we are able to get depression as teenagers. And you wanting or not, teenagers can get depression more easily than adults. Wanna know why? Because we are developing emotions. We are having like hormonal changes, and that messes up our emotions. We can easily get depression than adults. This game is showing that shit. People say that games, yeah, you learn nothing from the games. Games don't show real life, they are all fictional. Look at this shit. Does this sound fictional to you? Does these problems that this girl is facing, that the other girls are facing, sound fictional to you? Depression, bullying, being crushed by society, anxiety. This is not fictional, people. This is something that everyone have to deal on their regular basis. Everyone, every day, have to deal with this crap. This is not fictional. And the game is making people understand that this is not a fucking joke. It's not a joke. You think we just want attention? Well, fuck you, fuck off. What are you doing in society? If a society thinks that teenagers just want attention and say that they are depressed just because they want attention, then you are wrong. Yeah, maybe a lot of them do. But what about the minority that actually has it? That actually feels the pain? What about that minority? Will you be crushing them even more than they already are? Will you be destroying more their lives, more than they already are? Will you do that? Will you have the power to do that? Because you do have the power. You do have the power to change and help them. But you don't care. You think that is a phase and you keep it like that. We are not robots. We are not lovey-dovey. We are not happy just because we are teenagers. We feel the same you feel. I'm sorry about this. I had to vent this because it's something that kills me inside to know that people are suffering and no one gives a damn about it. This hits me inside and I don't know. This is something that I wanted to say for a long time, but I have kept my mouth shut because you know how YouTube is. I already took a strike from YouTube, kind of a strike, because of a video that I made that showed Sayori hanging herself, because I wasn't fast enough to take it out. You think that I wanted to show that to everyone? Of course not. But I couldn't just skip that part. People need to see what the world is like, even if it's through a game. Life is not an easy thing for anybody, even if you are a baby, a kid, a teenager, an adult, a senior. Life isn't easy for anyone. So don't make assumptions that life is easy for me just because I'm a teenager or for other teenagers. Life isn't fucking easy like that. If life worked like that, no one would have depression nowadays, don't you think? But no one thinks like that. And this fucking speech I just spit it out want to reach pretty much anyone any influencer because my channel is small. I appreciate everyone that is here, but the truth is, my channel is small. It won't reach anyone. But I needed to vent this because it's something that I feel that should be like discussed, like seriously discussed. Either way, let's keep going with the video. It's getting already too long because of this speech. I'm sorry for keeping it too long, it's just because I had to vent all this. Yeah. I'll need a drink after this. Okay, that is New Year. But I don't want you to think like this, like, oh, now I'm a cyberbully just because I do that, just because I judge someone that is weird. I'm not saying that shit. Just think before you talk about someone. That's what I'm saying. Either way, let's keep going. It was bad, but I could deal with it because I at least had my parents to help me. Given I'm the first person who knows over self-harm, does that mean? As if by reading my mind, Yuri answered the valid question. No, not even my parents knew. And that's when it began. I hated keeping my self-harm from them. I didn't want them to know. It scared me enough as it was, and I couldn't imagine how much it would scare them. I was terrified when I first tried. I remember the day it started. Some other students mocked me relentlessly because I stuttered during a class reading. I always used to dread reading aloud, and I remember that at lunchtime I locked myself in one of the bathroom stalls. I didn't mean to cut myself, I just wanted to admire one of my knives. Despite it being a constant reminder of what's wrong with me, just holding something so dear to me was comforting. I ripped it to hide, and that's when I discovered it. The rush that felt like the perfect release. It was tangible, but it was also terrifying. It felt so good, having that physical release, but I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I had done. I felt like such a freak. Don't know what to say. Was I beyond me at this point? How am I even meant to reply to what I'm hearing? My parents were the only two who accepted me for who I was. Even though they didn't know about the self-harm, they never judged me for my thesis in literature, nor did they question my interest in knives. While school was a torment, I saw the solace in knowing that no matter how bad it would get, I was safe at home. Fresh tears started to trickle down her face once more, until they died, and just like that I had lost them. The only support I have ever had. Reach out to brush away your tears. She doesn't move or do anything else to acknowledge that I'm even there. Throughout her heart-wrenching explanation, Yuri had been trying to maintain control over her voice and face. The stuttering and pained expressions that occasionally flickered over her features showed all I needed to know. As I scooped her into my arms, the dam that she's been trying so hard to contain finally bursts. The sobs unrestrainedly into my chest as she anguished cries filled the room. I miss them so much. My vision is blurry as she dresses the front of my shirt. I can physically feel her cries on my chest, right next to my heart. I want to see them again. I want to stop pretending that the person I'm in the arms of right now is not my dad. There isn't anything I would give to hear them ask me how my day was, even if it was awful. Anything at all. Please, my brain is in a frenzy. Say something, Yuri. It's going to be okay. You're not alone anymore. I'm here with you. And I'm never going to leave you. I promise. She looks up with the big wet purple eyes. You really mean that? Because I don't know what I would do if I lost you as well. Of course I mean it. I swear on it. You're my girlfriend and I love you. Even after everything I just told you. She gestures miserably to her wrists. Even with these, the venomous disdain in her voice is frightening to hear. I wasn't even sure if she was capable of such scorn. Negativity? shaking. Why am I shaking? God damn it. Was that outburst of mine took so much of my energy? Yeah. Need to eat something after this. Oh well. I love you for who you are, Yuri, which includes everything you hate about yourself. Scars or not, you're my girlfriend, and nothing is going to change that. Oh, a strange look comes over her face while she breathes, grows raged and fast-paced. Ragged and fast-paced, Yuri. Are you okay? Sorry, this is just too much to take in. Her hand suddenly darts to her wrists, and in that instant I suddenly realized the situation we're in. Yuri, stay with me, please. I can't. Yes, you can. Focus on my voice. Look at me. I'm doing my absolute best not to descend into a huddled state of panic for both of our sakes. I can't let her start cutting again. She's tentatively scratching at the flesh of her wrist. It starts off slow but quickly grows in frequency and intensity. In desperation I reach for her hand. Yuri, just talk to me. Say something, anything, just going on in your mind. Not sure if asking her to describe the urge is going to help. It could actually be harmful. But I'm finding it hard to think straight, and the tiny voice of reason in my head is telling me that distracting her and forcing her to talk to me is the right thing to do. Maybe I need a release. Whenever I feel like this, she tries to wrench her hand free from my grip, but there's no way she's getting free. I tilt her head up so that she has to make eye contact with me. My body needs pain. I need the control. The cutting, it helps to make sense. It helps me make sense of everything. Sense of everything? She swallows and her eyes focus on mine. The physical pain is something tangible that I can actually feel, something that I can make sense of. When I feel emotionally overwhelmed, I feel so powerless. But the cutting helps me regain that control I desperately need. It sounds I know it sounds crazy, but it helps me feel alive. When I'm so mentally overwhelmed, the numbness, it's without mercy, so I need something to focus on, and that's exactly what the pain serves as. No, that's not like that. Yeah, come on, control yourself. Not in the video. But why do you have to use a blade? Can't you just, I don't know, pinch yourself or scratch? You have no idea what the urge is like. My whole body screams for that little release. Scratching or pinching it would never satisfy the urge. Then what about this? Not cutting but painting on your body, like with a pen? A marker? You just paint. Yuri's breathing slowly grows more regular. She is no longer trying to wrench her arm free from my grasp, so I tentatively let her go, although I remain close, anticipating another attempt. I've never been in a position where I have the urge to cut when I'm around someone else. Do you still feel the need to cut? Yes, but it's a lot more manageable now. I think I'll be okay. My god, I'm relieved to hear that. I had no idea how to deal with this. I told you I was a freak. You're not a freak. You're just been through a lot, and cutting happens to be how you deal with the trauma. It's hardly helping coping mechanism, though, is it? Well, no, it isn't. That doesn't even need to be said. Okay, so yeah, it isn't a healthy way to cope with at all, but either way, I'm just glad you told me. Why are you glad? And more importantly, how can you not think I'm a freak? I don't know. I don't know why, but I don't see this as freakish behavior at all. Makes me sad, sure, but it doesn't creep me out. Plus, I like to think I have an open mind, you know. Ryu smiled ruefully at my words. You remind me a little of my father. He was the one who introduced me to knives back when I was just a little kid. As eager as I was to learn about their self-harm, I'm grateful that this is an opportunity to discuss something else. This isn't just staggering. What were your parents like? Oh, they were wonderful. I couldn't have asked for better. Never told me about how we first got into horrors. It's a guess, but was it your parents who introduced you to the genre? After everything that happened so far today, the genuine smile on her face is truly a sight to behold. How did you know? I'm a psychic. Kidding, I'm just very intuitive. I just had an idea. Why don't you tell me more about them over a nice cup of tea? Don't know about you, but I'm definitely in the mood for a hot drink. I like that a lot. Awesome, let's get started then. I was hoping the change of topic combined with a relaxing tea has really helped. As I was hoping, yeah. To bring the sense of normality to the day. Of course, the after effects of the morning still linger in the air. Yuri is still on the edge, but we're at least able to work around it. Funnily enough, I'm getting into horror. Actually stemmed completely off from chance. What do you mean? Well, one day both of my parents were out. It was a rainy day, so I couldn't go outside. Naturally, I was confined to the house. Was running around looking for something new to read. It happened to be a copy of an old ghost story that my father left out and immediately began reading. Given that it was a book for adults, I didn't really understand what was going on, but I was able to get the general gist. When my parents came back, my dad was surprised to see me reading it. Clearly, he didn't expect that I would like that. I remember how my mother scolded him for being careless. She didn't like the idea of her young daughter reading such a dark tale. I remember he pretended to be apologetic, but when she was out of sight, he eagerly asked me what he made for the story so far. It was obvious that I didn't really understand it, so he offered to read it with me, helping me out with the more complex words and explaining the story as it progressed. What was the story about? Must be pretty good if you remember it so well. Yeah, you see, it was an old Victorian tale about a young governess who was sent to look after family young children at their summer home. And there it is, the passionate fire in her eyes, the kind of fervor only seen when Yuri talks about the interests she holds dear to her. Yuri. How someone could ever shame someone for such passion? It sickens me how cruel people can be. She begins to see figures of a man and a woman around the house, but the servants of the house deny seeing such figures. Soon the governess learns that her predecessor used to have a relationship with another employee, and before these two died, they spent much time with the children. Given that these figures seem to come and go at will, and haven't been seen by the other employees, she quickly suspected that they are supernatural in nature. I can't quite remember the ending, but what I'll never forget is the clever writing. We as readers, we never give any concrete answers as to if these figures are real or merely a figment of her imagination. Maybe both. Was the governess just hallucinating, or did the ghosts of these people really prowl around the house? Who knows? That's the stuff we never know about horror stories, and that's why I don't like it. They are just unpredictable. Although it does seem kinda coincidental how the ghost seems to perfectly match the profile of her predecessor and the lover. Indeed, what's more is that the young boy was revealed to have been expelled, and it's heavily hinted that what he did to earn such a punishment was terrible in nature. With such a suspicious outlook, it's natural that the reader adopts the children's claims of innocence, especially when the governess asks if they too saw the figures. Ghostly apparitions, creepy, suspicious children. I feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Yes. Even from Yuri's description, the plot sounds exceptionally gripping. There's a dreamy tone in Yuri's voice as she speaks, and I remember my father encouraged me to question whether the ghosts were real. As a child, I took things at face value. The governess said she saw them, so that was what I believed. But he taught me how to approach things from another angle, how to consider the other viewpoint. In turn, it helped broaden my appreciation for such clever writing. And to this day I still wonder if ghosts were real. So, your analytical approach came from your dad. I suppose you could say that, yes. He was always methodical and organized in nature, so it's given that his personality rubbed off on me. I think he would be really proud of you, Yuri. If he could see you now. Tears slowly leaked from her face once more. Would he? I hid so much from him. I pulled her close to me, tenderly caressing her cheek with my hands. We all have our demons, Yuri. Everyone has things they regret and things they don't want other people to know. The hell with other people if they judged you for the things you liked or a quiet nature. Because I love your characteristics. Even if you hate them, I love them. They make you who you are. If you enjoy horror, if you enjoy collecting knives, who has any right to shame you for it? Fuck them, they don't know any better. She gives me a watery smile. Thank you. You really do mean so much to me. I'm glad that we met. Having someone like you in my life is... I can't describe it in words. Whoa, it must be tough when... then if even you can't describe it. Yuri makes a sound that sounds like a mix of laugh and a sob. Hey, Yuri. Yes? If you don't mind me asking, when did your parents... It's okay, you don't have to answer. Last February. It was a car crash. Ah, right, I'm sorry. It was probably insensitive of me to even ask. It wasn't. I have been keeping a lot of things from you, so it's only fair that I should stop doing that. After all, you are my boyfriend now.
Yuri, this doesn't seem like a good ending, but it's good to me.
It still feels a little strange to say that. Not in a bad way, though. I feel exactly the same way, you know. I still find it hard to believe that such a beautiful, intelligent girl fell for me. Must be the luckiest girl on the planet. Don't be silly. You have such a big heart, any girl would be lucky to have you. To be honest, I'm surprised at you and Sayuri. Sayuri and I? Yes, well, even if you were childhood friends, I managed you would have gotten together with her after seeing her again. She would have been such a better girlfriend, too. Hey, look at me. It takes a little bit of coaching, but eventually she reluctantly makes eye contact. Sayuri will always be a wonderful friend of mine. Yes, we have that history together, but I'm not living in the past. You and I have a special kind of connection that I can't explain. There's something about you that drew me in all those months ago. But she's so happy, so energetic and bubbly. Wouldn't you rather have a girl like that instead of a broken, miserable mess like me? I shake my head. That's not how I see things, Yuri. Surprisingly, she doesn't back down. Answer the question. I stare at her, both confused and surprised. I would rather have you, even though I'm an ugly freak with these horrible scars all over me. Yuri, either with or without the scars, you're beautiful and nothing will ever change that, okay? No one will ever be able to convince me otherwise. I chose you for a reason, never forget that. I don't know, it's not that easy. I know it isn't, just try to remember, okay? I'll try my best. You don't look particularly convinced. It's not that I doubt the integrity of your words, I just spent my entire life feeling this way, so as much as your words are a breath of fresh air, it's one thing to hear them, but another thing entirely to internalize them. I'll be with you for as long as it takes. She closed her eyes and squeezed my hands. Hearing that means more than you could ever imagine. Anyway, the sound of my stomach loudly gurgling fills the room. Wow, amazing timing as ever. I am sorry. It's okay. I suppose this is a good time to make food, don't you think? Are you sure? Yes, I think a return to normalcy will do us good. Normalcy will make us good. Ah, okay. Guess that makes sense. I did find a dish online a few days ago that I wanted to try. Do you have any daikon? Daikon by any chance? I wouldn't even know where to start with cooking a daikon radish. I'll take that as a no then. I think the grocery store has some. Lead the way. By the way, thank you for listening. It was daunting to share my self-harm with another people. After bottling it up for so long, I was scared of how you would react. I didn't say the wrong thing, did I? No, of course not. You've been really understanding, but most importantly accepting. And that's what I love about you. How tolerant you are. Well, and many other things. Well, rub the back of my head in embarrassment. Yuri smiles bashfully at me. Sorry, I'll stop embarrassing you now. Let's go. Let's go. And we'll stop it here. Maybe I'll do a second episode, who knows about that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and sorry for my outburst once again. Once again, Happy New Year! And I'll probably record a second episode because I'm feeling like seeing the end of this road, because I'm feeling like we are reaching the end of this road really fast. So, either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment down what you thought of it, and well, I'll see you guys on the next episode. See you on the flip side. Goodbye, pals.